What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Abby's Abode, and we've got some fun stuff to talk about this evening. We're going to talk a lot about the Royal Rumble, and we're going to talk about a promo that we got last night that I thought was very, very interesting. So we'll chat about that. But as always, we can't have Abby's Abode without Abby. So let me get to my screen here, and there we go. Julie, how are you this afternoon?
Good. I had to
Good.
go to work for a meeting today, all part of the master plan to eventually be in a leadership position. So my boss knows that that's where I want to be. So she's kind of slowly adding me in little things.
Gotcha.
to
Well,
learn
that's awesome.
stuff. And she said today, she said, I think you'd be a great clinical manager here.
That's awesome. I know that a lot of us feel the same way.
Well,
We
it would mean that she would be my tag team partner, and we get along pretty well. So I think I could do a good job.
There you go. Speaking of that, I was talking to someone on my team yesterday, and I found myself giving a wrestling analogy, and I was like, I was talking about taking bumps and how, a lot of what we do in the marketing world is taking that bump. You try something, you might fall flat on your face, you might fall flat on your back.
Mm-hmm.
But in most cases, you're going to fall. So you got to learn how to fall so you can get back up.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take those falls in the future, they don't hurt quite as much.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I gotta write that down because that was pretty darn good
Yeah, that's
advice.
nice.
And yeah, so I was kind of
I said that to her once, and I was like, "Oh, so then me and you would be tag team partners?" And she goes, "Heck yeah!" So
that's awesome.
me and her get along pretty well.
That's
I
good.
think we'd be good. It would be
Good.
fine.
Good. Yeah, I hope they give you that opportunity because I know you're working hard and you're earning it. So hopefully they give you that opportunity there.
I
Um
think they will. It's just when
yeah.
we get enough staff um to allow me to come off the floor and do those things. But we have a new nurse that's starting next week, so I could be in that position. And they want me to get 6 to 12 months of dialysis experience, and 6 months is in April. And
Okay.
the training for a floor nurse, is 12 weeks. So it might be around my birthday.
Oh, that'd be a good birthday
It'd be
present.
a great birthday present.
That would be. That would be. So let me welcome in the other part of our show, which is everyone in the chat. So welcome to all of you. Let me shout some folks out real quick. We've got Clown, we've got Jeremy, we've got B Tazzy in the house. Hey, tonight, even if you don't watch NXT normally, go watch NXT and watch along with Tazzy. He always does a great job on his watch alongs, and yeah, go check him out tonight because I feel like it's going to be a pretty good show. Just going to throw that out there. James Chadwick, what's up, James? Deanna, how are you?
It's her
John,
birthday.
it's your birth. Okay, so I've got to do this in real time. Let me see if I can pull up the soundboard here. I'm going to see if I can do this in real time. So if it takes a while, I apologize, but you know how we do birthdays here. Um, so Deanna, are you 21? You don't have to answer that. But happy birthday, Deanna. Happy birthday, Deanna. Happy birthday.
And remember, we were talking about show Mars
Yes.
before we started.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That's my
Oh,
husband, the chef, y'all.
go. So so yeah, I'm jealous over here. If you're in the South and you know about show Mars, let us know in the chat or leave us a comment because I was telling Jody I'm quite jealous because every time I go back home, I have to get show Mars.
And
You
Bojangles.
brought up you brought up Bojangles. I always have to get
Mhm.
Bojangles. We finally have Chick-fil-A's up here in New York now, so I don't have to go back home for that. But honestly, and no offense to anyone up here in the Northeast, but
They don't
some
know food.
soul food, no, no,
Nah.
no.
People in the north don't know food.
Soul food, like I'll give you pizza.
I was gonna
I'll
say I give pizza.
I'll even give you wings. I'll give you all the Italian food. Yes, y'all, great stuff. Know what you're doing. But when it
Philly
comes to soul,
cheesesteaks. Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to soul food, some good old
Yeah.
collards, some
Mm.
cornbread, some beans.
Mm.
My goodness. Okay, let me stop because I'm hungry. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Deanna is saying yes. I'll say I turned 25 again this year. Um, a few
So
weeks
the closest Bojangles to me is like 2 hours south.
ago. If
So
I had a Bojangles 2 hours near me, I'd drive there probably once or twice a month. So I'm glad that I don't have a Bojangles anywhere near us
yeah,
because
there's one not far outside of Louisville.
mm,
So if we're ever going like that way, yeah, Bojangles, country ham biscuits, man.
yes, yes, and the Bowberry biscuits.
No, I stick that country ham. I don't know. It's the
It
closest
is.
thing I can find to British bacon.
It's the ham biscuits are so good.
Oh, they're so good.
So good. Yeah. And their fried chicken. Oh, I like Popeyes, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing like Bojangles chicken.
Bojangles.
Just gonna just gonna throw that out there. Um yeah, so welcome everyone. We're just having a little discussion about some good food if you're just joining us. Now I need to cook um some 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 southern cuisine this weekend. My kids will enjoy that. So
I will send you the recipe for my husband's show Mars chicken pitas.
all right. And I'm gonna do it because I love, oh my gosh, I love Shomar. So
Mm-hmm.
just
He does
anything.
a pretty good job.
Yeah, I gotta get that. We we don't have a lot to talk about in terms of music, but I will say this: we do have something that we need people to go and do, and that's go and watch Jody's interview with Joel. It's on our channel. Go and watch it. It's a really good interview, really cool stuff. And gotten a lot of compliments about it, Jody. So yeah, just tell people a little bit about the interview and what they may hear when they listen.
Sure. So I got to interview a gentleman by the name of Joel Hoekstra, and I found him because he is one of the most badass guitarists I've ever heard in my life. He is one of the main guitarists with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I've gotten to talk to him a little bit on social media, and yeah, he's a phenomenal guitar player. There's some really cool stuff that he does in the show. He talks about playing the guitar with his teeth. um He's also the guitarist for Whitesnake. So he talks about touring with them and touring with Trans-Siberian Orchestra and what life is like on the road. Yeah, he was a really, really chill, nice guy to talk to. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it was a great interview. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed the conversations about kind of where he grew up
Mm-hmm.
and all the talent that came from that area. I mean, just wild. So yeah, go check out the interview, drop a like on it, and leave a comment. And let us know your favorite part of the interview. Let us know which part you like the best. And I will say this: I am going to put out some short clips, hopefully this week, but if not this week, next week. Um,
I
just
like him
because
saying that he's kind of a hermit.
I like that. Yeah,
Because I see videos, obviously him touring with Caleb and the other guitarist Chris, who's amazing. When they go to different cities, they go out and sightsee and they post videos a lot. So that was kind of what prompted me to ask him that, like, if he goes out and sightsees in all these different places that he's been. And I love that he just kind of laughed and he was like, I'm kind of a hermit.
Yeah, it was an awesome interview. Really, really was.
I'm working on Chris next.
Okay.
Maybe not next, but I'm working on Chris.
And we may have some other interviews coming at some point in the near future with some other musical artists. So stay tuned because we got some stuff coming. So Jeremy Dunderman said I just watched it today. So good stuff, Jeremy. Good stuff, Jeremy.
I just
Um,
love the hair.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
him and Chris have very similar hair. And it just makes me laugh because I mean it's so 80s rock band. I mean, it's great. It's great. It makes the show just so much, I don't know, so much more entertaining. It just adds another layer to it that I don't know. It's they're so much fun to go watch.
That's awesome.
And the work that goes into planning a Trans-Siberian Orchestra show.
I like that too when he kind of broke down like everything that goes into it and all the lighting and everything that you were talking about with the shows. I mean, it's a lot that goes in behind the scenes as
And the
well as
amount of trucks, like if you've ever been to a TSO show, the amount of trucks that it takes to
oh
move
wow.
all that lighting and the trusses and the stage and everything like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. There must be 30 trucks taking all
Wow.
that stuff. And they have to tear it down and drive to the next city and then set it up all of it the next day. And if you've ever seen a Trans-Siberian Orchestra show, you know what a spectacle it is. So to have to take all that apart and drive it to the next city and then set it all up again and have it look not exactly the same, but to have to do the same effects with the
Yeah,
fire and the pyro and the lighting and the lasers, and that's wild, man. That's wild.
it is. It is. It really is. There's a lot that goes into these productions. So, yeah, I'm always fascinated to hear the behind the scenes stuff. So,
Me too.
yeah, I really enjoyed that interview. Well, I guess we're gonna move to some wrestling now, and we're gonna talk about the Royal Rumble. But obviously, before we start talking about the show itself, obviously, as many of you know, um, especially if you've been watching this channel for a while, we all know that it was the 1 year anniversary of Bray's last match on a pay per view, and so that was a tough thing for a lot of people, and I wanted to bring up. Jody sent me over this tweet from Bray's sister, so saying what I would give to watch you enter that arena tonight. I love you more forever. So
And his kids were at the Rumble as well.
yeah, I saw a picture of Becky, I think, with his kids. So that was
Mhm.
sweet. That was really sweet.
Yeah. Mama Lexi posted videos and pictures of her and JoJo and the kids at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm sure that was really hard for them too.
yeah, yeah, absolutely,
But I'm glad
absolutely,
everybody's taking care of them, obviously,
yes, yes,
and
and
loving
that
them because I would love on them too.
right. It's just beautiful to see. Like you can tell that, especially in the picture that I saw of Becky, you can tell that she was genuinely
Hmm.
happy to be around them and to be there with them and for them. So
Yeah.
it's really touching, and I'm really glad that they're still going around and that everyone is receptive and
Yeah.
is giving them the love and support. That I'm sure that means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So going to the Rumble, we talked about this one particular person a lot last week. I'm gonna kind of jump all over the place, uh, but we talked about this person last week, Karrion Cross.
Mhm.
and he was in the Rumble, and
He should have had
uh,
way more time than he did.
yeah,
Let's
I
just
think
say that right now.
yeah, yeah, he should have had a little more time than what he had. But I do think because of how certain things have played out, and we'll get there, this may be an opportunity for him to be elevated a little bit. So, but just talking about um, his experience there, and I again, I really enjoyed the whole show.
Yeah.
But before I get into that, got to show this.
I love those t-shirts.
Those shirts are amazing.
They're so cool. I love
They
it.
they really
The
are.
end is near. I love that one. That one looks like a Bray shirt.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome that that they've got this merch out, and I think Joe said he got the shirt here in the middle.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Never fight fair.
Yeah, never fight fair. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Speaking of something else that was pretty darn awesome in terms of the Royal Rumble, I'll start with the women's side of things. Naomi,
Amazing.
formerly known as Trinity in TNA, uh, she was number 2, I believe. So
Hmm.
that was an
Stayed
amazing
in it
return.
for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
Hmm.
Great showing by her. I was so happy to see her and see and hear the crowd reaction
Hmm.
to her showing up. It really was just tremendous. And I agree with you, Clown. I think the women's rumble match was the match of the night. I think they stole the show.
100%.
Now I will say this. I tend not to mark out very much.
Hmm.
But when I saw Jordan Grace,
All you guys marked out.
I lost my crap. And we all did. We lost our crap because honestly, like I didn't see it happening. I know that there were rumors out there and I avoided those, but I didn't see this happening. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Everybody
The only
wanted it to happen.
Yeah,
It was
everybody
like, wouldn't
wanted
it
it.
be cool if Jordan Grace showed
Yeah.
up? And then she showed up, and you're like, what the?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was so cool, and I've now watched the video on how it was all kinda put together and,
Hmm.
how she found out and, the conversation she had with Scott D'Amore, and, it was really cool, though, to see her there, and again, she lasted in that match a while, and some of the showdowns,
Oh,
like
amazing.
her and Bianca, I mean, yes, Bianca eliminated her, but
Hmm.
her and Bianca, I wanna see that.
Hmm.
I wanna see it, and I'm so
Her and
glad.
Naomi.
Oh, yeah, her and Naomi, because that was the other thing. Her and Naomi had a program before Naomi left TNA,
Hmm.
and they had their final match, I think it was on last week, and it was like, okay, that's the end of it. She's gone. That's it. Well, Jordan Grace comes down to the ring. They hug each other, and then they just start throwing haymakers at each other. It was
Hmm.
awesome to see that. You see the continuation of a storyline from another company being shown on WWE programming, which was really cool. I thought.
Amazing.
Yes, Deanna saying I really wouldn't mind a good working thing with TNA and WWE. I agree.
I
Uh,
loved what Triple H said afterwards, and he's like, I don't know, like give a crap about some door. In that press conference, I just died laughing because
I
that
heard it.
shows that he reads stuff and he's acknowledged. He's like, I don't give a crap about some door or whatever.
Yeah, I don't care about what you call some door. It just sounds
Yeah.
goofy or something like they say. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But I do hope that they work with TNA and to the points of Jeremy, Deanna, and Clown commentary and Triple H. Everyone was putting over TNA, putting over
Mhm.
Jordan Grace. And, she, again, for the people who say, oh, well, TNA is like the indies compared to anything else. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you that Jordan, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you're honest, you will answer this honestly. Did Jordan Grace look out of place in that Royal Rumble? Because I don't
Nope.
think he did. She didn't look out of place at all. She looked like
Nope.
she, and so I'm going to share this crazy, crazy, crazy fantasy booking idea with you, Jody, and with the rest of the chat. The only other person that knows this idea is Joe because we were talking about this. But I said to him, what if, because we know WWE did an all women's pay per view a few years ago. What if they did this again, but it was WWE women's divisions versus the TNA Knockouts division?
Oh, good grief almighty.
I would lose it. Like if they ever do that, count me in. And no, I don't. I'm gonna say this. I love all of you, but I will not be here for a watch along that day
Because
because
you'll be marking out.
I'm gonna find a way to get to that pay per view. It can be on the moon, and I'll ask to hitch a ride to the moon. Like if that were to happen, I'd be yeah, I would be so happy, and I know the fans would love it. I absolutely know the fans would love it. Um, Deanna saying she got her moments and well deserved. Jordan Grace looked amazing, and man, she fit in well. Yep, to that point. Yeah, and like James said, I need Bianca versus Jordan. I need it. Like I need it. They've teased it. I need it now.
Mm-hmm.
So WWE, TNA, Triple H, Scott D'Amore, whatever you guys need to do, make it happen. Make it happen because we need to see it.
I think
Something.
I think African American women stole the Rumble for sure.
Well,
Like
you know what? That's a perfect transition.
it was so beautiful.
It really was.
It really
And
was.
woo, let me tell you, um, Jade Cargill
Oh, amazing.
is a freaking star.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Triple H booked that one right.
Oh my goodness. And honestly, yes, like he booked it, whatever it was, he decided that she was gonna go out and do her thing, but she's also gotta perform when she gets out there.
Mm-hmm.
And for her to pick up Nia Jax and not only pick her up,
Pretty
but
much
hold
throw
her
her in
up.
the ring.
Yeah, and flex. The one time she picked her up, she flexed with the other arm and had her up with the other. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. And I just feel like she's gonna have a huge year. Let me ask you this, Jody, and to your point, I want to bring this up again too. I know we talked about this on here before, but her, Bianca, Naomi,
Oh, I literally just got chills.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna see my baby girl this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot wait to show her that match because it matters.
It
I
does.
mean, representation matters, and seeing 3 black women prominently featured
In the
in this
Rumble.
match,
Mm-hmm.
tremendous. Kudos to all involved.
Yep.
Kudos to everyone. So, I want to ask you this, Jody. All right, let's say that
I want Jade versus Rhea.
yes, I do want that. I do want that. Would you put her in the elimination chamber?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep. I would put her in the elimination chamber. I would have her win. I would have her go after Rhea.
I like that. What
Love
what
it.
show what show would you have her go on? Would you have her on Raw or SmackDown?
I don't think it matters. Because, I mean, technically Rhea's on what, SmackDown? But they show
Yeah,
up everywhere. So
they're everywhere.
so it don't really matter.
Everywhere.
Um but I don't know, I'd like to see her on, I think they would probably put her on SmackDown at first. Just because we haven't seen her on Raw. But we've seen her a lot everywhere. So I don't think it matters. The title has no brand. Yeah,
No
they
brand.
can't.
Yeah. So yeah,
I just
let
want her to
her.
see. I want to see her win the Elimination Chamber and go fight Rhea at WrestleMania. Because can you imagine? Oh my gosh,
I'd love it. That match would be tremendous. I
it
mean,
would
just
be insane.
yeah, it would be insane. And the winner of the women's Royal Rumble, someone very deserving,
Mm-hmm.
Bailey. Um, Bailey won the Rumble. She's gonna have her opportunity, and I'm just gonna ask the question outright to the chat and to Jody. Is she gonna pick Io?
Yep.
I think so too.
100%, because Bailey, I mean, first of all, let's just acknowledge Bailey and what an amazing career she's had.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Like, her career's been insane. And I love what Triple H said about her, that she's often overlooked because she's like the glue instead of the front runner, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But so props to her for the amazing career that she's had. 100% EO, because at the end of the day, Bailey looks out for Bailey.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't honestly.
And I think she knows that she can't beat Rhea.
Yeah.
I think she thinks that she can beat Io.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
All
And,
right. Well, go ahead. Go
and
ahead.
my husband just said they're laying the seeds already. Because I didn't get to watch all of Raw last night,
Mhm.
but he said they already started laying those seeds on Raw.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They definitely did last night for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of something that they set up on Raw and we saw play out, how about this moment?
Mm. Um. Amazing for Cody to win back to back. He is in an elite group now, and that proves that WWE, he's the guy. Like, he's on the cover of the game, won back to back Rumbles. He's the guy.
He's a guy.
And yeah, he is the future of WWE.
Yep.
And it sucks for Punk to have injured his tricep, but I it remains to be seen whether or not if it's a legit injury or if it's storyline based. Either way, hope he has a speedy and healthy recovery.
Yeah.
But I love that Cody immediately turned straight to Roman and
Mm-hmm.
said, "I'm coming after you.
Coming after you, buddy. Coming
Yeah.
after you.
That belt is mine." And like, if it does end up being Roman versus Cody at Mania, they can't do it to him again.
I mean, that would just be cruel and unusual punishment, right?
Yeah, they can't do that to Cody again. So I'm pretty confident that if Cody goes up against Roman at Mania, Cody will actually beat him this time.
Yeah. Well, let's get to that, because there's a reason why you're saying if.
Mm.
And the reason you're saying if is because kind of out of nowhere last night.
Yeah.
And let me back up. So CM Punk comes out to tell everyone that he's got the injury, delivers what I think is probably his best promo
It was beautiful.
in WWE since he's returned. It was heartfelt. It was emotional. Um,
Hmm.
and then we got Drew McIntyre out there, and Drew is just on a different. He's operating at a different level of evil right now.
That was evil.
That was
And
evil.
I want to answer James Chadwick. He said, but they call an audible and have Punk winning it until he got injured? I don't think so because they had all the merch ready to go.
Okay.
So I don't think so. I think they probably always had Cody winning it, but I think they knew initially it was going to come down to Cody versus Punk once they rehired him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Drew went to a whole nother level of evil. Okay.
Like this dude, he went after the arm. I don't know if anybody's paid attention to Drew's social media today, but Drew
Yes.
is
He's being so petty right now. Like so petty.
he's Drew is operating at another level right now, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm pretty sure they already know this, so they don't need my advice or opinions. But WWE, Endeavor, TKO, whoever writes the contracts, if you haven't gotten that man a new contract yet and signed him yet, you might want to yesterday,
Yeah.
because you need that guy. You need him in your company.
Yeah.
He's on another level right now.
Oh yeah. And oh gosh, how many times have we been talking about Drew and just saying, "Oh my gosh, they need to turn him heel. They just
Yeah.
need to turn him heel. They needed to do it yesterday. Just do it." And they finally did, and now we're like, "Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh boy."
He
Like
he's I love heel Drew. I love him.
that's great.
I mean, it is fantastic to see him because he just gives zero F's.
No.
And he just doesn't care. I mean,
Mm-mm.
he's gonna do what he's gotta do.
Yeah.
Um, so so we had him out there with Punk, and then Sami Zayn comes down to get the save, and then him and Drew and Sammy end up uh wrestling, later in the night. But then, we got Cody out there and he's addressing the crowd, and the crowd's going crazy and he's getting emotional because they, start chanting, "You deserve it." And then
Cody's
we
an
got,
emotional guy,
he is. He
and
is.
I
I like
love
that.
that.
I like that. I
Like
like
Bray was an emotional guy, and
Yeah.
I loved that about him, but you know, Cody's an emotional dude, and I think it adds another level to him as a person, and I love that.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a kind guy. And, I think I shared this story on here, but when we met him, um, he he was so kind, and
Mhm.
JJ was just, I mean, he was just beside himself because he's meeting his hero. He's meeting his favorite. And
Yeah.
Kinsley is standing over there and she's really, really nervous. And she told me that morning, she says, "Daddy, I'm nervous." And I said, "I understand." And Cody looks over at her and he's like, "Hey, come here." And he's like, "What's your name?" And he says, "My name's Cody," and sticks out his hand and shakes her hand. And he's like, "Hey, take another picture." So he took a picture. They took a picture with all of us in the photo. And that was just so awesome of him. He didn't have to do that. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. And, you know, so last night we get him out there. He's emotional. He's in his feels. And,
He's in his feels.
he's in his feels, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm in mine sometimes. Um, And, I mean, the decision is made, right? Because he said the thing the night before, on Saturday, and
Yeah.
then Seth Rollins comes down, and man, did he all like, I was like, right now, and I'll say this, I think I think the match that I want to see the most is Cody and Roman because I want to see Cody win the title.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really want to see. But they did a pretty darn good job. Seth Rollins did anyway of making me think, if I don't get that, I'd be pretty darn cool with seeing Cody and Seth again. So, what did you think of Seth's promo? And do you think that changes things at Mania, or do you think we're still gonna see Cody finish his story against Roman? What are your thoughts after that promo? And same to the chat too. I want to get everyone's opinion.
It depends if they want Roman to break Hogan's record or not. If they still want to go forward with that, then somehow, some way, they're gonna have to get Cody to change his mind. If Cody's gonna, because like I said, you can't have Cody go up against Roman and have him lose again. Like you can't. It's just you can't. So the only way to avoid that is, you could set up something between Roman and Rock, not for the title, but for the head of the table. Then the title's not involved. Roman keeps the title. If they want him to beat Hogan's record. If they don't really care, yeah, then Cody's going to end up, with Roman. So it can go one of two directions. But I will say, either way, they're going to fight tooth and nail for you to think that he might not pick Roman.
Yep.
And I love how they've already started to do that. And Seth had a convincing argument.
He did.
He really did. Like, that title is pretty much worthless at this point because who's going to beat Roman at this point? He's had it for so long. He won it by pinning somebody else. We're going to leave that out of it. But, that title, he wrestles very rarely. Yes, he puts on good matches when he does, but he never wins on his own accord. He never wins clean. So, yeah, that is kind of a bogus title at this point. And if Cody wants a fighting champion's title, go after Seth. But the title and how it's perceived and if it's a fighting champion's title or not depends on the person holding it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so Cody getting Roman's title, yeah, it will become a title that's used more often, that's defended more often, all of that. So, yes, I love what my husband just said too. Like Seth bashing Roman, having a feud down the line, like that would be amazing. So, but he had a convincing argument. But ultimately, I think Cody's going to stick with Roman.
Yeah.
Because the title is what the holder makes of it. And it is, he's said all along, finishing the story, it's that title. It has nothing to do, essentially, it has nothing to do with Roman.
Right.
It's that title. He wants
WWE title.
that belt. He don't want the heavyweight championship belt because that wasn't the one that his dad couldn't win or didn't win before he passed away. He wants that belt. And I think ultimately that will be the deciding factor. I want that belt.
That belt.
Got nothing to do with that man. It's that belt.
Now, let me play devil's advocate here and throw a wrench in all of that. And I'm just going to ask a what if and just see what folks think about it. So let's say that for the sake of argument, that somehow, some way, Triple H and The Rock have a conversation. And
he's on the board.
Right now that he's on the board, and he's like, listen, Punk is out. We need you. Let's do you and Roman non-title, but only for the title of Tribal Chief. And our plan there is to have Roman make it to, let's say, SummerSlam. And or Or what we can do is we can say Survivor Series. That's even better. Survivor Series. And let's say there's some wild idea that WWE doesn't like the fact of having two different belts. So let's say they want to unify them again. And let's say Cody beats Seth at WrestleMania and he's the champion, and Roman is still the champion at Survivor Series. Now you've accomplished your mission of beating Hogan's record. So now you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For the folks that really want Cody to face Roman at Mania, would you be okay if they hinted at that happening down the line? What do you think about that, Jody?
Yeah, I just don't want him to go up against Roman at WrestleMania and lose again.
Right. Right.
Because, like
I
you
don't want
said,
that either.
if we don't get Roman and Cody at WrestleMania, we might, we'll get Roman and Seth, and that will be a pretty cool match too.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, with Cody and Roman, and I know that's what so many people want. I want it too because I want to see Cody kind of get that redemption.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if they told me that the plan now is for the belts to reunify and for Cody to be the one to have the unified title and be the champion of your company, the face, no more, multiple titles but one. I hey, I'm I'm cool. I think I would be cool with that. Um but I do want to see him. I want to see him beat Roman. I really do. Um
Yeah.
I want to see Roman get his comeuppance.
Yes.
That's what I want to see. Um I think that another thing that would benefit WWE if they did it that way is you could have Roman, which I know The Rock has already said he would put Roman over if they do this, but have it really break down for Roman between Mania and Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm. There's only one thing they could do if they put Cody versus up Roman, and that would be worse than him losing to Roman again. Mm-hmm. And that's him beating Roman and then Damian Priest cashing in and beating Cody.
Oh my God. Can you imagine the outrage?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine the outrage?
Oh my God.
Like if that happens, you think Dominic Mysterio gets booed now? Oof. They would have to I don't know that Philadelphia is the best place to do that, I'll say.
Nope. I don't know if he can choose both. Can he choose both?
I don't know if he can choose both. I don't think he can, because I think the winner of the Elimination Chamber is the number one contender for
the other one.
Yeah, for the other one. So I'm not sure. That would be interesting though, I would say.
But then so Roman has to defend that title at WrestleMania. He doesn't have a choice. Because the Rumble gets a title shot. Rumble winner gets a title shot. And the winner of the Chamber gets a title shot. So Roman has to defend that title.
Mm-hmm.
Because whoever wins the Chamber is going to challenge either Roman or Seth, whichever one has not been challenged yet. So he has to defend that belt at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he has to.
He has
to. Chris saying The Rock could win the Chamber. That would be
insane.
If they have to go that route and he wins the Chamber, that would be tremendous. That would be tremendous.
But then it has to be for the title.
Yeah. But I mean, if he's already said that he's gonna put Roman over.
So then literally who is going to beat Roman if he beats The Rock?
Cody.
When?
if you do it at Survivor Series,
Yeah.
if you do it at Survivor Series, they accomplish everything that they want to accomplish. They
Yeah.
get The Rock at a WrestleMania. You get Cody with a title, but then you have the opportunity to unify the belts again and have him be like the undisputed champion of the entire company. And now he's like truly the face of your company. And then once Roman does that, then you've got all the stuff that you can do with Solo. Because what if Solo doesn't come out to help him in his match against The Rock? Why didn't he come out? We'll want to know all the answers to those questions. So then you can set up Solo and Roman, and then you know. So there's a lot of different things I think that they could do. Um, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Chris saying he doesn't want to see Roman beat Hogan's record. He doesn't deserve that honor, especially not during Hulkamania's 40th anniversary. I think that's a good point, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that feel the same way. That really don't want him to do it, especially if you look at the number of title defenses. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, Hogan defended a lot more. Um, I think I think what WWE is doing with Roman is I think they're slowly getting you used to the fact that at some point he's going to do the same thing that John Cena and The Rock did, and that's going to be going to Hollywood. Because after all of this is said and done, if you tell me that you don't think he's earned the eyes and ears of some Hollywood execs that make these action movies or different kinds of movies, I mean,
100%.
Roman Reigns is Hollywood bound. I feel, and I think that's the next mark in his career, and I think he'll be around less and less, which is unfortunate because I do like Roman.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's his next move.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. I don't know what they're, but that's what we were talking about too. Like with the Rumble, there were so many people in it that we didn't know that were going to be in it. They only announced a handful of people. So again, now that they've introduced Seth, trying to convince Cody to go after him instead of Roman, and we we don't know who, because obviously Punk would have been in an elimination chamber. So who's going to
Right.
replace him? Who's going to replace Brock? Like there's so much unknown and there's so much unpredictability, and I love that. It's nice to not know things.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Um, and unpredictability in these things is a good thing. You honestly don't want to be able to call everything because that just makes it boring.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that. We don't want boring. I do have I do have some other questions though, and I just kind of rapid fire to you and the chat. Um, okay, so we'll start with Cross. Who do we think Cross may face at WrestleMania? Does he have a WrestleMania match, and if so, against who?
He better.
He darn well better.
He darn well better. Um, I would kind of like to see this thing with Bobby Lashley come to a head at WrestleMania.
Mm, I like that. I like
Yeah,
that. I just
you
I
can
gotta s-
build. There's so many of them in the two different factions. You can build different matches, you know, without it being Cross versus Bobby until WrestleMania.
right. I mean, you could have both of them kind of go through each group. I mean,
Yeah,
you could have Cross and Montez. You could have Cross and Angelo. You could have Bobby, and I mean, it's a lot of stuff that you can do.
yeah.
So you can build there, like you said. So I like that. Where does LA Knight land at WrestleMania?
I would like to see him go after Gunther.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. You like to see him um go after Gunther.
Yep.
Okay. Um Deanna, you're in my head again. You're in my head.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Who would you like to see Shinsuke go up against?
I mean, Randy.
Rand. Okay,
I,
so you
I think that would be a good feud.
now I'm gonna throw out AJ.
I like
Be-
that too.
I'm gonna say I would love to see him and AJ just because I feel like the match that they could put on would be match of the year kind of thing. And I no disrespect to Randy because I think him and Shinsuke could do the same thing, but I'm partial to old Uncle Allen, so I gotta shout him out when I can. But
I wouldn't mind seeing Randy and Drew.
Randy and Drew, ooh, I like that again. Yeah, because you remember they had that crazy program,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that was the one with they had a match where one ended up in the ambulance or it pulled one of them out. I forget, but they had a crazy program. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Graham saying Logan Paul versus LA Knight US title match. I
As
like
long
that.
as long as LA Knight wins.
Yes, I like that. I think that the time has come to put some championship gold
On
around
LA
the
Knight.
waist of LA Knight. I
100%.
yeah, I think we gotta
So
go
then
there.
do you have Randy go after Gunther?
See, with Gunther, I eventually want to put Gunther in that world title picture.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't, so let's go back to the whole if Cody chooses Roman, I would almost have Gunther win the elimination chamber,
Sure.
and that's another good one right there, Chris.
Oh yeah,
I,
Braun Breaker.
yeah, because he's coming up.
Mm.
He says that he wants a piece of the Judgment Day. Braun
Hmm.
Breaker. He kind of called them out, so that's interesting too. But no, I really like Braun Breaker versus Gunther. I really like that because it was supposed to be Brock. Yeah, I
So then
really
what's next for Randy?
for Randy.
Mm.
Ooh, let me ask this. So let's say they do something completely different with LA Knight. Let's say you do get LA Knight and Gunther. Let's say that's the direction that they go. How would you feel about Randy Orton versus Logan Paul?
Oh my gosh! Could you imagine the carnage?
I know.
You know what? Yes, I would love to see that. I would love to see Randy Orton beat the snot out of Logan Paul. Yes, I'm for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I think I would like to see Randy go up against Logan Paul. I see a lot of people mentioning Cena,
Hmm.
and Graham is mentioning Randy versus AJ. And yeah, I know that right now he's not slated to be at the Elimination Chamber in terms of Gunther, but if they go that direction, I just fantasy booking, just having fun.
Yeah,
Um,
clown, don't you put that in the universe. No, no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no, no,
Joe,
no.
Jody saying he's got to take an L that day. James saying bring
Hey, it
back the
matches his
Mania.
name.
Yeah. Bring back the Mania tradition, the IC title ladder match. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Who would you so who would you book in it, James? Let us know who you would book in that match. I think though it's a lot of fun to sit here right now. I think they said it was like 60 something days until WrestleMania last night.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at about 2 months away from WrestleMania, and we have no clue which
No.
direction some things are going in.
Yep.
Isn't that kind of nice?
Yes. It's beautiful.
So I didn't realize that Deanna saying he can't leave the country for another 6 months for citizenship. Okay.
Yeah, he won't be at Elimination Chamber, but
Yeah. But I mean, you could even do something with him on Raw. I mean,
And look, Elimination Chamber, if you win, you become a number one contender for a title. There's
mhm.
four of them out there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And I'm in all of this, there are a few things that I'm thinking that I'm trying to wrap my head around. So, and this is what I someone asked Triple H the question about how talented the roster is and how deep it is. And I love that, Graham. I love it. Would be great to see Sheamus get that title
Ooh.
to complete that. I would love it. I'm on board for that. Um, but
Like that.
WWE right now is so top heavy and in their roster because you can make a case for so many different people being at the top of the card.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different matches that so many people want to see.
LA Knight versus Seth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, give me LA Knight and Cody.
Yeah.
I mean, LA Knight and Gunther. You've brought that up. Um okay. Let's see. Chris saying I also think Gunther may not be losing the belt at Mania due to Bash and Berlin. Okay, that's a
Hey,
good
we thought we were dead set the Drew was going to win the belt because it was in Scotland, and that didn't happen, did it? So these countries mean nothing, obviously.
And that's good though, that it's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. But
Yeah,
there's
we
so many
swore up
different.
and down that Drew was going to win,
Yeah.
and he didn't. Because we were
And
like, there's no way. It's in Scotland. They're not going to have him lose internationally in front of his own crowd. But he did.
they made us think it until that 3 count. They made us think it all the way. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many different things that they can do. And guess what? We haven't even talked about any of the women's division in terms of fantasy booking for Mania. And and that's it's fun when it's this kind of unpredictable and oh gosh, James is throwing out Andrade and I completely forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Now you put him in the title picture. I mean, there's so many different. So let me just shout this out. James Chadwick saying Gunther versus Shinsuke versus Andrade versus The Miz versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. And you know what, James? I'm gonna throw in one more just for the heck of it. No, I'm gonna throw in two more. I'm gonna throw in Sheamus and I'm gonna throw in Ricochet. Ladder match. Make it happen. That would be awesome.
I think one thing we do see is I think Damien will have a failed cash in.
I see, and that was the other thing that I was going to bring up is that you have all of this. So where does Damian cashing in fit in? I don't think he's going to be successful.
No.
I don't. Now, here's another thing that they could do. They could piss everybody off again and pull another Austin Theory and have him cash in on Logan Paul.
You know what? I'd be okay with that. If
You'd be okay with
he's
that?
gonna beat Logan Paul, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, Clown saying Kabuki Warriors versus Belair and Jade for the tag.
Ooh.
Oh.
Or Belair and Naomi.
Oh. Good grief. So many directions that we can go in with this.
Yeah. We haven't even, like you said, we haven't even talked about the women's division.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. That's just. And then what do you do with Becky? And
Money in the Bank.
yeah, I mean, there's so many different things. And then do you have anybody else coming in between now and Mania? Do you have someone new? So there's just so many different things. I know it's fun and exciting to talk about it. Chris saying WWE is so stacked with great talent right now and creative finally. Yeah, and that's the thing.
You've got Rob Fee in there, head of long-term creative, and you know,
Yeah,
they're doing a phenomenal job.
they really are. And James is now booking the tag matches, and we haven't even talked about that. Um, and my comment, good grief, man, because that match. What now? Let me ask you this, James, just to add a little more into that match. What if I threw in the Profits, or are they going to have their hands full with AOP?
Hmm.
So
I'd like to see Jade versus Rhea.
yeah, don't play with
But
me like that. Don't tell me Jordan Grace versus Bianca at WrestleMania, and I'm this close to Philly, and I'm not. Man, don't tell me that. Don't, don't tease me like that, man.
Becky,
Oh
yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
yeah,
Becky versus Jade.
yeah.
I
Becky
wouldn't mind
versus
that
Jade.
either. Because you could have, or you could have Jade go against Bianca, or not
Yeah.
Bianca, Bailey.
Yeah. I mean, and the other person that you have to throw into this too is what are you going to do with Nia Jax? Because you can
Oh yeah,
like her or not like her, but she's done a heck of a job. Heck
yeah.
of a job.
I mean, and now you've got Naomi back, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I mean, so much. Yeah, so much.
So many.
Um, yeah. Barry Monkey saying, "I just hope every one of us is wrong and everything is a total surprise." I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I love the guessing games. I love the fantasy booking, but yes, I want to be totally shocked and surprised, and I think we will be. I think this year Mania, with it being unpredictable right now, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of us. So, um, Clown, I had that thought last night saying I think the Awesome Truth walks into Mania with the tag belts, and Truth has
Oh,
a Mania moment.
I love
I
that. I love
I
it. I
had that thought. I had that thought last night. So
love
absolutely, absolutely. So this is a lot of fun. And we're going in a little overtime right now, so we'll wrap up because I know Jody has her chicken pitas over there, and I'm about to eat something. So let's go through a little bit of art. We don't have a lot this week, but just a few things to show you in terms of artwork and different things. So we'll start here.
Oh, love Kyle. I told you we'll always show Kyle's artwork because he's so talented. But it looks like a tree that's on fire.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. I'm so excited about getting my next tattoo.
Speaking of a tattoo,
That is amazing.
I love this.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. I saw it on Twitter today, and I'm inspired by it because obviously I'm going to see Kyle in May, and I'm trying to think about what to do with Kyle's style, and how to do that with a Bray Memorial piece. So this gives me ideas.
Yeah, this is amazing. Um, Clown just blew my mind with the fantasy booking idea. So I had to shout him out real quick.
Um, this is wrestling edits. Obviously, we will showcase Bray as much as we possibly can, um, because we love him. We'll always love him. But I love that this is all exclusively Fiend pieces, and it looks
Yeah.
like it's on like negative film. That's really creative.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
There's another Kyle piece.
So darn good.
I know. I don't know what I don't know where he gets these ideas. It's so beautiful to see. Obviously being in his studio and seeing a bunch of his artwork and stuff too. Like you know, it's beautiful to check his social media and see what stuff he's come out with.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah, this is good.
I think this is black. Yeah, this is Black Mass design. So you've got, Final Testament here, and it almost looks like they're in the catacombs of Paris.
Yeah, and then you see all the skulls piled up around them, and
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. I love it. That's great, great stuff as always. Great stuff. So, um, I guess we'll get out of here. Jody, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Mm-hmm. I love you guys.
And
Sorry,
we
I'm
look.
stuffing my face.
No, it's fine. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. It's. I'm about to be on the same thing here. So, but yeah, we thank all of you for joining us this week. Again, if you get an opportunity, if you want to check out NXT, go hang out with Tazzy this evening, for his watch along. Have a great time with him. Um, and for the rest of the week, so what we have for the rest of the week. We have TNA on Thursday, which should be a lot of fun. Um, come check it out. One, two promos that we didn't go over this week on this show. I'm gonna send Jody those and see what she thinks. We got a couple of promos from Crazy Steve and Decay last week, back to back.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so I'm gonna send those to Jody and see what she thinks about those. We may chat about those and keep an eye out for if we get anything this week from Crazy Steve or Decay. But we have TNA on Thursday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern is when we will start, and I'm pretty sure we'll be here Sunday for Between the Ropes, and then we'll be back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. For Abby's Abode. So, Jody, thank you as always. Great show and great discussion and a lot of fun fantasy booking. Thank all of you in the chat for your participation and your fantasy booking ideas and your thoughts and opinions. We greatly appreciate them. And if you're watching this after our live stream and you can't check it out live, let us know your matchups that you'd like to see. Fantasy book a card for WrestleMania. I want and I'm going to say that to everyone in the chat right now. If you don't mind, leave us a comment and fantasy book WrestleMania. And we'll go through some of those fantasy bookings. But thank all of you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on Abby's Abode. Take care, everyone.